Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this meeting of Biggleswade Town Council. A reminder that this meeting is being filmed, and by your participation in this session, you are consenting to the use of those images and sound recordings. Item 1, apologies for absence. I have apologies from Councillor Bond, Councillor Leslie Fage, Councillor Mark Foster, Councillor Knight, and Councillor Alban. I think that's all. Declarations of interest. Receive statutory declarations of interest from members in relation to, firstly, any pecuniary interests, and then second, any non-pecuniary interests. So, does anybody have a pecuniary interest to declare? No. Anybody have a non-pecuniary interest? No. Okay, then I will move on. So, on Saturday, item 3, Town Mayor's announcements. So on Saturday, I had the pleasure of attending the Biggleswade and District Choral Society's concert at St Andrew's Church. It was entitled The Peacemakers, and they performed, I think it was 16 individual pieces, which were chorally very challenging to sing, I'm told, and I didn't ruin the evening by joining in myself. They only had 7 weeks to practice, and it was a really good turnout of the choir and the community as well. So I'm yet to receive the final figure of how much they've raised for charity, but I believe it's going to the Ukraine appeal. Councillor Russell.
830.
Ah, brilliant. Excellent. So £830 raised in the evening, and I look forward to attending their Christmas concert in December as well. Councillor Russell, do you have any announcements? No. Okay. Item 4, public open session to adjourn for a period of up to 15 minutes to allow members of the public to put questions or to address the council through the chairman pertaining to matters on the agenda. Each speaker will have to give their name to the chairman prior to speaking, and they will be given 1 3-minute slot. We have a member of the public who wishes to speak? No. Anybody online? Is there anybody online? Oh, he's online. Well, he's not a member of the public, so he can't speak then. So, unless something's happened. No, it hasn't. That's good. Okay, so I'll move on then. So item 5, invited speakers, for members to receive a presentation from Inspector Grant Baxted from Bedfordshire Police, but I don't believe he's with us. If he happens to join, he's welcome to address another point in the meeting. Until then, I'll move on. Item 6, members' questions. Do any members have any questions? Councillor Russell.
Could I formally ask that we make a decision at council about whether we retain the numbering on the council minutes, which is somewhat meaningless, or whether we return to the former method of numbering where we could see exactly which agenda items it referred to? Could I ask that that's on the next agenda, please?
I'm sure we can do that. Any other members' questions? No. Okay, so item 7, minutes and recommendations of meetings. So for members to receive the minutes of the town council meeting held on Tuesday, the 11th of October at the offices of Biggleswade Town Council. So we're going through these for accuracy first of all. So I'm on page 5 of our pack. So any going for accuracy on page 5. Any comments on page 5? Page 6. Councillor Russell.
Could I request that something's added to the 3rd member's question? It says I raised concerns on Saffron Road. It doesn't explain why it was an issue. And it says it was agreed for officers to gain further information from CBC regarding this closure and the access problems for Saffron Road and Saffron Court. Because I think otherwise it doesn't make proper sense.
Yeah, and I think we need to say that, you know, as a result of the works going on at the interchange as well.
Yeah.
Because I certainly know, looking back in a few years, we'll wonder what that was all about. So yeah, that's fine. Thank you, Councillor Russell. Any other accuracy item matters on page 6? No. Page 7? No. Page 8? Page 9? And page 10? No. So we're happy that these are correct record. I assume that's okay. Thank you. Matters arising then. So we're going through the same set of minutes for matters arising. I'm starting on page 5. Any matters arising? Page 6. Page 7. Page 8. Page 9. Councillor Russell.
The item on the neighbourhood plan, I'm pleased to say that the plan has now been formally adopted by Central Bedfordshire Council and sits within the development framework of CBC.
Thank you. That's brilliant news. Super. We need to make sure we use it for some of these planning applications that are coming up today and others then. But am I right in thinking, Councillor Russell, just on that, that we will look to do some training at some point, hopefully, so that members are fully aware of how we can use the neighbourhood plan to full effect?
My understanding is that Helen Calvert is sorting that out with Dave Chetwin.
Perfect.
That's certainly how I left it with them.
Good. I hope we can all make ourselves available for that because it's very important. Any other matters arising on page 9? Page 10, Councillor Pullinger.
Just that it says that members will receive the minutes of the Hay review by separate correspondence. I don't believe we've received anything as yet.
No, I don't think we have. I think we need to be, we're obviously mindful of how this is minuted, but I think that does need to be circulated to councillors if that's all right, please, and certainly stored securely as well, so that we know what was decided. Okay, anything else on page 10? No, then I will move on to items for consideration. So item 9A, Asda car parking restrictions for members to receive the correspondence from Asda as per the attached item in the agenda pack. Councillor Foster, please.
I must say, I was rather amazed at this letter. I've read it 4 or 5 times thinking, this cannot be a letter from an important organisation such as this. So what I suggest is this. Regarding the communication sent from Asda to Mr. Hosseini, I think the response should be as follows. Thank you for your communication of the 17th of October 2022. The premise proposed in this communication, namely that the signage should remain in place showing 1.5 hours, but that the actual allowed time is 2 hours, is completely illogical and unacceptable. It cannot be right that visitors to Biggleswade, our residents, and yes, Asda shoppers, should be expected to rely on word of mouth or rumour to gain information about the length of time they can park without penalty. The signage must be returned to showing a maximum allowed 2-hour parking time, and any changes that have been levied on residents who park for more than 1.5 hours since the change was made must be refunded to them. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Foster. Is that a proposal?
It certainly is.
Super. Is there a seconder? Thank you. Any comments? Councillor North.
Well, I think they also ask about the correspondence, something about where this idea comes from, about, don't they? I can't remember the exact words now, but shouldn't we refer to that and say that the allowance of 2 hours parking was a condition of planning consent for the shop in the first place?
So, Councillor Foster, Councillor Pullinger, sorry, if you might want to answer that point.
Yeah, so I mean, it does say in there that they're effectively asking us to share a copy of the section 106, essentially. I don't see any reason why we can't share that that document and to bring it to their attention. They should have it, obviously, but it may, as part of the reply, be useful to actually fulfill the request that they've made in their communication as well.
Okay, are you happy with that, Councillor Foster, to include that?
I think the original letter actually made the point. I don't really see why we need to repeat it, personally.
Okay. Councillor Russell?
I don't see why we should go through our archives. They can go through theirs, and if not, they can contact Central Bedfordshire. So maybe if Councillor Foster would agree that we could just add a final sentence on your last point, please refer to Central Bedfordshire Council.
Fine, yeah, happy with that.
Okay, thank you. Any further comments? Councillor Strawn?
Yes, I must say I struggled to understand what they were actually saying in the letter. It was far from clear, and I think that it's quite appropriate that we give a response on the basis suggested, but it was, with great respect, not particularly well written.
The way that I interpreted it was we said that it's 2 hours, and your planning conditions say that, you know, your planning permission is that you have to offer 2 hours worth of parking as per the 106 agreement. And their response is, oh, well, yeah, but we've put up a sign saying an hour and a half, but you won't be prosecuted if you're there for an hour and 45 minutes, for example, which seems stark raving mad. So I read it several times as well. And I think we need some
It
clarity.
is completely cloud cuckoo land. You can't expect people to see the sign and not wonder. I mean, they need to know. Their
Agreed.
customers need to know. I'm told by people that shop there that 1.5 hours to shop in Asda if you've got children and messing around and all the rest of it. 1.5 hours not enough if you're an Asda shopper. Why would you want to put off your own shoppers? It's crazy.
Agreed. Okay, so we have a proposal. The proposal's been seconded, so it's the wording as per what Councillor Foster said, plus an extra sentence at the end about referring to Central Bedfordshire Council for a copy of whether it's a planning agreement, Section 106 agreement or whatever. So all those who are in favour of sending that letter back to Asda, please show. That's everybody. Thank you very much. And I trust Councillor Foster, you're okay to provide a copy of that to the team of officers. Thank you. Item 9B, bus route proposal for members to consider. Oh, sorry, should I just say on item 9A, I think we should carry this over to the next agenda as well, in the hope that Asda have come back by then, if we're okay to keep this on the agenda, if that makes sense. Sorry, now I'll move on. Item 9B, bus route proposal for members to receive and consider the draft letter on bus routes proposal to, so this is a letter to Central Bedfordshire Council and the portfolio holder regarding bus routes. Councillor Russell.
Well, this letter has been prepared by a member of staff on behalf of the clerk, but it doesn't make the key points that need to be made. And I would propose that we can't possibly rewrite the letter now, but perhaps council would agree to the mayor and I working with the town clerk and getting this letter off to Central Bedfordshire as soon as possible.
Is that a proposal, Councillor Russell? Yeah, is there a seconder for that proposal? There are a few seconders. Okay, any comments? Councillor Woodhead.
Thank you. I mean, I largely agree with what Councillor Russell's just said, but I don't think the letter doesn't really encapsulate the issues. Obviously, we've got the interchange and the routes through town, but also the recent I guess route closures by Stagecoach and so on as well. I think we need to emphasise that a lot of the existing routes are still up in the air, and they need to think about that as well as the strategic part of the routes around the interchange. So it's kind of multifaceted rather than just one thing.
Thank you, Councillor Woodhead. Councillor Pullinger.
I think Councillor Woodhead's made some of my points for me. I think it is not just about the impact of opening the transport interchange and closing the bus stops around Century House, but it is also in relation to that more strategic outlook. And I think the other additional point I wanted to make was really around the final paragraph that's in this letter, but in terms of what are we actually asking for? And I think we're asking for more than just to be updated so that we can feed back on anything. We really want to be involved as partners and proactively involved in any ongoing discussions in this.
Thank you. Okay, are there any last comments? No, so I think we just need to, I think a lot of the content is there, but there are a few bits that need adding and just tweaking. So so Councillor Russell's proposal is that we can rewrite this and send it off. All those in favour of that proposal, please show. Thank you, that's everybody. Item 10, planning applications. 10A, 5 Mitchell Green, part double storey rear extension. Comments, Councillor Russell.
I regret that I have to announce to council that a member of the public has beaten us to it and has actually sent an objection into Central Beds on this planning application referring to our neighbourhood plan. So stolen a march on us. And he's referred to the right policy in the neighbourhood plan, and I think the council's response should be similar to what's already been sent in. It's policy number BPD 3(1)C, which talks about housing extensions will be supported provided that any loss of on-plot parking spaces is replaced by spaces within or in immediate proximity to the site. Now, it's obvious that where this is, there aren't any sites in immediate proximity. And in fact, this is a 4-bedroomed house, and if the extension is built as proposed, it would only leave 2 parking spaces, which really isn't adequate. And that would include the garage. So And in fact, the planning application, if you look on the portal, shows a photograph of the front of the house with a car badly parked, half on the pavement and half on the drive. So they're not doing themselves any favours there. So if I could propose that we object on the grounds that it doesn't conform with BPD 3(1)(c).
Okay, thank you. Is there a seconder for that proposal? Councillor Ramsey, any further comments? No, so the proposal is to object in line with policy BPD 3(1)(c) in our neighbourhood plan, which is related to loss of parking. All those in favour of that proposal, please show. Thank you, that's unanimous. What a satisfying moment. 10B, 12 Station Road, remove part of a boundary brick wall to increase existing vehicular access and replace with a gate. Any comments? Councillor Pullinger.
Thank you. So what isn't clear from the description is this opens out onto Palace Street, not onto Station Road. What I would suggest is that I would propose no objections subject to neighbours and due consideration to be given to any impact on the ongoing works and changes to the road layout in that area due to transport interchange.
All right. So second for that proposal? Yes. Any further comments? No, so it's no objection subject to neighbours, our usual wording, but then also with due consideration given to the future road layout. All those in favour of that proposal? Thank you. 10C, 50. Oh. Could we take Councillor Brown's sharing rights away? You should not be able. Kevin, can you hear us? Oh, God. Kevin, will you concentrate on what we're doing? There we go. Thank you. It's a new one, isn't it? Item 10C, 57 Laburnum Road. Proposed single-storey side and rear extension following demolition of existing conservatory, erection of pergola to create outdoor seating area. Any comments? No, no objection, subject to neighbours. Is that all right? 10D, Fairfield Cottage. New garage and store to replace a range of existing outbuildings and garages. Any comments on this? Councillor Russell?
I don't think we should object. There are possible issues to do with drainage ditches and, you know, the proximity to the common, but looking online, they're all covered by officers of central beds with what's already on the portal. So I don't think we need to concern ourselves. So I would suggest no objection.
No objection. Subject to neighbours and the usual word?
Yes,
Yeah,
not that there are many.
No, that's fine. Yeah, that's very true. Any comments? No, so it's no objection, subject to neighbours. Thank you. Item 11, planning application outcomes. A report on the planning application outcomes as of 20th of October. Are there any comments on this? No, lots of things are waiting decisions, aren't there? Councillor Russell.
Well, just to say on Land North, there has been a submission apparently by Hallam of a new transport report. But I understand that it's been referred by Central Beds officers back to Hallam to take account of the improvements to the A428 and the Black Cat. And obviously Central Beds aren't prepared to share with us where we are so far with that until Hallam come back again.
No, thank you. Any other comments? Councillor Pullinger.
Just on Land East, I understand that that's being considered at DMC tomorrow or this week.
Yeah, it's related.
But with options to either refuse or defer based on the fact that there's not yet been any further negotiations on the Section 106.
That's right. Okay, any other comments? No. Item 12, the accounts. Councillor Pullinger, do you want to comment on these?
No comments. I propose that we accept the accounts as presented.
Okay, comments? Councillor Strawn?
Thank you, Chairman. Just a question on page 35. Zurich Assurance, 15,000 odd for credit service charge. It isn't obvious to me what we're paying a credit service charge to Zurich for. I wonder what that is for.
I believe it's in relation to the depot from memory.
Okay. It's insurance company, isn't it? Okay. Any further comments? No, so these have been proposed. Would somebody like to second that we accept the various accounts as set out? Yes, seconded. Thank you, Councillor Russell. Any last comments? No, so all those in favour of adopting the accounts as set out, please show. Thank you. Item 13, items for consideration, Back Street and Station Road. So this is the interchange. For members' information, this is an update from CBC Highways regarding the interchange work and road closure. Do you know what the update is? Because I couldn't see it in the pack. No. Okay, so the update is that there is no update. Okay, thank you. Thank you. That's all right. Well, thank you for. I think we need more of those on the agenda. Councillor Ramsey, do you want to put your microphone on, please?
Will it go on the next agenda then? Will it be carried across, or we're just going to not have it?
So just to clarify, I think I have been copied on an email to the Central Beds Officer who's responsible, who's the project manager for the interchange. The email that I saw was relatively vague, but it looks like a decision is coming very quickly about what is happening to Saffron Road and access. The impression that I got was not that it's going to be cut off completely, but I'd need to double check that email, so we can probably just put it on the agenda for next time, but we might have run out of time by then. Sorry, Councillor Pullinger, did you have a comment?
I was just going to say that according to the sign down the other end of Station Road, the road should already be closed until 5th of November or something, but obviously it's not. We've still got the temporary traffic lights, so I think it would be prudent to keep it on the agenda for next time.
Okay, yeah, agreed. And we're only the town council at the end of the day, and we only need access to this building, but there we go, we'll see. Fingers crossed. No, but it did look to be in hand, let's see. Item 14, public open session to adjourn for a period of up to 15 minutes to allow members of the public to put questions or to address the council. This is about any matter of council business, and it's 1 3-minute slot again. So any comments? No, it's okay. We don't have anyone join us online, have we? Oh, okay. If they want to speak, could you show your virtual hand if you want to address the council? Any indication? No. Okay, that's okay. Fine. Item 15 then, exempt items. So there aren't any listed on the agenda, but we do have one to cover. So is somebody all right to move that we go into exempt? Yeah, thank you. Any dissent? No, then we're done. 24 minutes. Good work, everybody. Thank you.